Hey guys, how you doing? Oh shoot, everything's down. Let me fix that real fast. There we go. Get to hide some of my messy room. Right? Well. This. Sorry, I've had some technical difficulties, and with that, oh, YouTube is back to its oppression again. I don't know if it's just natural or unnatural, but I've had such a good go of all my recent videos that it took about the same amount of time to make the video as it took to upload it. And it was like, oh my God, before it was done listening to it, it's already been uploaded. So anyways, somebody must have been asleep at the wheel, but they're back at it again. In fact, this one here that I'm redoing again, it's probably just best that I do get to redo it. It's chapter 19. This is where the attack on Sodom and Gomorrah starts, okay? And this is one of our more controversial texts. I'm glad I'll get a chance to do it over again, because the first one I listened to and tried to redo again and tried it. It had so many glitches in it, you know. Mostly I'm the glitch. I'm the glitch, right? So anyhow, it's a shame. So I'm going to give you a synopsis of the story, and that is that someone's getting a new mind in this particular story, and somehow or another, what we're finding out is that Lot is a gatekeeper of some sorts, and during this particular situation, he notices two angels coming down, and he's sitting at the gates of Sodom itself. Okay, the city. He's at the gate. So really, what he is, he's like that middle line that divides the two sides of our brain. So he's right there. I call it the gatekeeper. We always have this little gatekeeper. And all of these stories right now have all been right in the midst. So everyone is, you know, in the midst. This is all about, you know, going up this road and traveling, you know, and you know, meeting up with God along the way. All right, but anyways, what we're into right now is these two things have got to be destroyed, and these two angels have come down to warn Lot that there's going to be some hell breaking loose, and for him and his family to get up and go. And so in the process of doing this, you know, and we go through it, he goes out and finds his brothers, their sons-in-laws and stuff like that. See, that these are outsiders. They didn't get to come, all right? But anyways, in the long run, they're acting out the storyline of what happens when we go into meditation ourselves, all right? It comes down to this point that these angels have come to tell him that they're going to go, and they're trying to push him on. We have already shut down the men of the town, the minds of the you know, well, not yet, but in the storyline, when the men come knocking at the town, they don't want to go to sleep. This is the lower mind, holding on, and then it's like, and it's pressing on Lot. This is the situation where they're being judged. Okay, this is that idea. There's these two. Oh yeah, who are those two guys that you brought in? And then they talk about, you know, oh, well, you just came to sojourn in this land, and now you're a judge. Well, we're going to deal with you even worse than they. So this is a little scary little thing going on, you know, and it's the men of the town. This is where the queer comes in, all right? But the actual idea is that the left side of our mind is our carnal mind. It's the male, it's father. So it's the men of the town, you know. The town is our body. The town is all. Do you know that in the land of David, city of David, that's us, all right? It's talking about our skin, body, stuff like that. So, you know, if I could go through this in a way, what happens is when our bodies, and I'm wondering if I've done this already in our things, but when our bodies go into meditation, and what I was using is I was using Baphomet as the example. All right, and I'm not so sure what he's doing, but anyways, here's Baphomet. All right, and what he has is he has a Kundalini system on him that only goes to the stomach, and it goes like this, and it's sticking out. A lot of people don't know that, but that's not a penis. That's a Kundalini system. The lower mind, the devil side of us, only has the lower three chakras, and that's as far as it goes. It can't get higher than the solar plexus. It can't get higher than our stomach. This is the third church, Pergamos, the middle. This is where it goes. Now, all right, all that aside, okay, you know that we still have another bunch of chakras in between here before we make it all the way up to the top. This is the seed of Satan. This is what most people have going on right now. Even as you're listening to me, if you haven't gone and cleaned him out, all right? The seed of the soul is the sixth one up here. That's between mother and father. That's when the boom, 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 that's even. They're all, thank you, wow. All right? Now, while our mind is half mind and unbalanced, we got this guy. When we are unclean and we are sodomites, sodomites mean we go to the lower, all right? So this is that we're the uncircumcised, even if we have been circumcised, uncircumcised people are people that are still connected to the lower, all right? And so it just means that you have not disconnected the lower mind. So he exists. All right. When we sow this seed correctly, what God tells us to do, to honor mother and father, what happens? What happens when we do this? First off, we have to shut down the five senses. And we already had that 5 countdown. All right. This is in some places, take no thought, 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 and they're all grouped together. So it's this idea of we're going to gather them together, and all of these people are already in the 6th chakra. The story's going to start off that they're at even, all right? That's where they are right here. And they want, wake up, wake up, wake up, this is what I need you to get the hell. I want you to come hither, we can't do nothing until you come here. It says, whoa. And when you get gone, I want you to look back, nothing like that, such and such. I got this little place for you to go and hang out in so you can hide from the wrath. All right. So during this particular wrath, and you're scared to death, what's going on. It's a process of this. So we shut down the mind. And when we shut down the mind, when those guys at the door finally leave us alone and the angels smite them, make them to where they can't see, they can't find the door. They can't find the door. Well, that door is this emotional place, this spot right there. All right. And when that happens, when that happens, the devil, all this goes down. This is the male side, the mind goes to sleep. And in future stories, this is where whatever was inside can escape. And it can't escape unless it comes out. It has to come out. It has to, so we get this miraculous exit from the city where they said that they came out of the city. You understand? So that would mean like they came out of here. They escaped. So they got out of the bondage. They got out of this place. They escaped. That's what happens next because the devil's gone. He's gone to sleep. And he's in the hands of his wife and his daughters. They're all out together. So on the way there, his wife is turned to a pillar of salt because she turned around. Now, what means is that, they say don't look back, all right? But what she does is that it's a salt. Salt is a preservative. So this is a good thing because now his wife has been preserved. His and wife in this situation is his spirit. And then he's whisked up into a mountain with his two girls who get him drunk off the new wine. The new wine is his wife. The idea of the wife is still there in symbolism. And the daughters are representing the emotional side and the desires. They are knowing, they're having a good time. This is the coupling of the left side with the spirit. So the left and the right side are coming together in this situation. And so it's not sex with your daughters because that's an outside view of something. But in reality, these are all people that are within us. All these people. We are Sarah, and we are Abraham, and what we're looking at right now is Lot being this guy that's in the middle between the two. All right. So, I know that I'm behind in my writings, but in the next one, we'll find where, there's a combination of these things going on. This is which represents two, right? Whatever the next one was supposed to be is the joining. All right. And then later on, oh my goodness, it's just the symbolism and the way this works is that once we have been able to shut off the five senses and the mind goes to sleep, does what's inside of us allowed to be broken free from its bondage. We're being brought out of hell, been brought out of the death in our mind. And here we're in the situation where this is the grave, our body, and Jesus wants to pull us out of this, and bring us alive. So what happens is his wife, in the story, let's go on to it real quick, all right? And I promise to be a lot smarter this time around. But this is 19. 19 is going to represent a 1. And a 1 is basically this idea of both the male and female sides of God. This is about God. And it's sort of a beginning of a new story. But we knew this was on its way. And there came two angels to Sodom and at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face towards the ground. And number 2, and he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early in the morning and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. This part here, this is really where we meet. This is where we meet. Well, this is the Kundalini. This is a female part. This is also, because it's the Kundalini, it's the street. It's the outside, but it's the street. That's what make way, my way to the Lord. So anyways, they're going to stay out in the street. Well, anyways, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. That's number 3. Unleavened bread. You know that this part of is our body. We are known as bread. We are this beautiful thing. And unleavened bread is bread that doesn't rise. So it's about serving up quietness. You have to be quiet. This is a quiet time, and you're trying to put the mind to sleep. And so this is like the 6th chakra, and this is where it's supposed to be darkness. It's supposed to be right before the day of the Lord. And so he's on the 6th chakra. He's right at this gate that they keep talking about. And that's the door between the two, between good things and the outside, the men of the town. So it's right there in the middle. He's this middle part of our body, all right? This part of our brain. And he holds the door shut because men are not allowed to come over on this other side. He wants to give up his girls. So let's see what happens. But before they lay down, the men of the town, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house, and both young and old, and the people of every quarter. So this one here. This is where the men of the town have come in. All right, and they're pressing upon. So we get, and they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men that had come to this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot, this one here is number 6, and Lot went out of the door unto them. Now, this is the door, this is the window, whatever you want to call it, all right? This is this in between. This is the gate in between. I'd say it would be right here, somewhere right in here. All right, but let's go ahead and use this. 7, and I said, I pray to you, brethren. This brethren always comes here with the body itself, the physical side of us. So it's representing these men over here. And he says, come on, guys, let's not be so wickedly. All right. And he goes to 8. 8 is a control number. All right. Behold, now I have 2 daughters that have never known a man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do as you feel good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore they came under the shadow of my roof. So they're under the protection of his roof, but it's really fun because they're under the shadow. All of them are in the shadow right now. They're in that, walking in that shadow, all right? These guys even have angels around. Everyone has to be in the spiritual mode here, all right? Because it's what's happening inside of us. We move on to 9. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came to sojourn, and he will need be a judge. He will need a judge, all right? Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon man, even Lot, and even and came near to break in the door, all right? But the men put forth their hands. This would be where the angels put forth their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them. Shut the door. All right, there's that door again. All right. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house into blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So this made them blind, so they can't find this place, the entrance into this nice place. All right. And so next we go to 12. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou any besides? These are the two angels are said, asking if he had anybody else in the family around, because bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of man waxed great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. This one here will be, and Lot went out and spake to his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, let's get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But it seemed as though they mocked him and the law. So this is all holding up to the law, but they really don't have the law yet. Number 15. And when morning arose, the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and 2 daughters, which are here, lest you be consumed in this city, in the iniquity of this city. And while he lingered, the men laid upon their hands upon him, his wife, and his 2 daughters. This is that thing where they brought him without the city, all right? Took him out of the city. It's pretty cool. But in reality, what it is they're pulling you. This is like they're taking you out of the outside and into the inside, all right? We just shut the man down. All of this business, that's all quiet. It's all behind them now, okay? This is what's really cool, all right? 4, 12, 13. 18. And Lot said unto them, oh, not my Lord. So he doesn't want to go. Damn it. I have to do this because I'm crazy. All right. I'm losing my place. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And while he lingered, the men laid upon his hand. This is where they got this miraculous disappearance from the inside of the city, where they came from inside to the outside, transported. All right. And then 17, it came to pass that when they had brought forth them abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. So they're like showing him the way. Get going. Do not look behind thee and stay in the plain. And neither thou should stay in the plain, escape to the mountain, lest they be consumed. And Lot said unto them, oh, but no, Lord. Oh, no, my Lord. Oh, no, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant has found great grace in your sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me by saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now the city is near to flee unto, and this lives a little one. Oh, it's just a little. Let me escape thither, and my soul shall live. So this is a question. Yeah. So should I escape there? Will my soul live? All right. And haste thee, escape to thither, for I cannot do a thing until you come thither. Oh, it's so cool. Hang on a second. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zor. 22. Where are we at? 22. 22 is here. 22. It's just a small place that we're supposed to go to. 22. Haste thee, escape thither. Yes, it is. For I cannot do a thing until you come thither. Therefore, the name of the city is called Zor. All right. And after that, and the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire. So this is the body. Remember, this is representing Sodom, and so it's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's the body. It's us and our thoughts. So this is this idea that on 24, which equates to a 6, which is where we're all at, where the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from heaven. Next thing it says, and he overthrew those cities, all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities that grew up on the ground. So on this far side here, this is representing that everything was destroyed. This is 7. This is God's. This is number 25. So this is the Lord's day with the fire and brimstone. This is that time when the things happen. All right, and that's number 25. 26. But his wife looked back from him, and she became a pillar of salt. So this is number 26. All right. 6, 7, 8. All right. So this 26 represents a control number. So when she became this pillar of salt, it means that she was preserved, and that's last forever. Do you understand? That's control. That's a control number. And then we get, and Abraham got up early that morning. Remember, this is where you come up and down. This is very interesting, where right in the middle of all this, as soon as this happens, does he get up early in the morning, right here. And while he's let's see, what is this? Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. This is where you would stand. This is raising and lowering. This is where he came back to the place. It's beautiful. All right. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, which is our body, where he looked across to see this part, to see Sodom and Gomorrah, and towards the land of the plain. And behold, lo, the smoke of the country went up, and the smoke like a furnace. And then we get over here, we get 29. 29. Is this it? No. Damn it. I get mixed. It's killing me. 25. Let's go back. Damn it. 21. Where are we at? 21. Maybe I'm just really screwed up here. 21. And he said unto them, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing, and I will not overthrow this city for thee which thou hast spoken. This is number 21. So he is trying to say no. He's like wasting his time. So on the 22nd one, he says, come on, let's get going. Come on over. He's trying to get him to jump off from that sixth rung. For I can't do anything. I can't do nothing until you do this. And so the sun raised up. Is that how it works? Yes. Number 23. The sun was risen up on the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. The sun, you have to understand, the sun was risen up when Lot entered into Zoar, right? Because right then was the Lord started raining down on Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone. This is it right here, number 6, number 24. That represents a 6. That's where we are. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early that morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and he saw the smoke like it was a furnace. And it came to pass when God destroyed the city of the plains that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow when he overthrew the cities of which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up to Zoar and dwelt in the mountain. All right, so we're going to start over here with the mountain. So out of the midst, this is this idea that a man was brought up from this. This is really great how this has been working out. And of course, they tell the story of Lot being brought out of the midst of this. And so we have Abraham being brought into life here. We're being joined with his brother's son as this gatekeeper of theirs. Because remember, they had nothing. These guys came from nowhere. And the following stories, they're going to be bringing his wife into this and conceiving her own child, so that he can do this on their own now, once they're connected to God. But this is all they're using. They're using Lot as the child, or the brother, and we are using later on. She is going to wind up being the right side of the brain, whereas Abraham is representing the left side of the brain. So these are the three that are most important in all the story. All right, so what happens is this Lot winds up going up to Zoar, where he dwelt in the mountain with his 2 daughters. This is number 30. Where do we get that at? Where's 30 at? 28, 29, 30. So he went up into the mountains. So this is where he went to hang out with his daughters. All right. Again, that's a good thing. This is where you get your raising and your up and downing. And so he's at least made it up to the mountain, right, to this cave area right here, right? And this is when the firstborn, this is when we talk about the firstborn, says, our father is old, and there's not a man on earth to come to us in any manner, all right? And it said, come, let us drink, let my father drink the wine, and we will lie with him, and may preserve his seed, our father. All right. So this is where he is introduced to the wine. Wine means spirit, and spirit is actually this mother, this one. That's why his wife is gone. His wife's going to be restored a little later. So what we get out of this is we should have, and it came to pass that the firstborn. All right, so they get the woman, they get him drunk, 32. So 33 is 33, 33. So they made their father drink the wine, and the first one went. And it came to pass on the second one, the second one did it, and then they made their father drink some wine the night before. This is when the younger one rose and got him. And then at the very end, thus were both daughters of Lot with child by their fathers. Again, we're getting a double situation where the firstborn bore a son, called his name Moab, and the Moabites to this day, and then we have this be me, whatever it is. So we get the two different sides, just like with Abraham. All right, he gets two different sides. He gets his first son, and then he gets Isaac. They're left, right, left, right, brain, left, right, brain. That's all these guys are about. And I thought I spoke about this before, because it's the same thing as this is Ishmael and Isaac is what we're talking about right now. It's also Cain and Abel. All right. It's also Esau and Jacob. They're all representing one group is representing the left side of the mind, and they're all redhead and wild and crazy. And the fairer and the more smarter, or whatever, what you would consider the ones that have made a product of God, are all from the right side of the brain. All right? It's just really cool. All right? So I didn't stutter too much through that one as I was in the first one. And it's a little less, so it's 31 minutes so far. All right, so the thing happens is that when we go into meditation, these are the lower chakras. They all go down, because this is what happens is all these guys are traveling south anyways. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then crown chakra will be 7th. All right. So when we go into meditation, this goes down. All right. Remember, they can't do anything until you get that guy shut down. So this man comes off. He says, "You got to do it." And as soon as he did that, his wife turned around and turned into a pillar of salt. They destroyed these buildings, destroyed all this crap. Really, just obliterated the plane, made everything level. That's really what happens, because now there is no longer a lower mind, there's no longer a higher mind. There is just the mind, all one together. All right. Well, in this chapter, not yet. We still have Mother. She's coming next. She's going to be in the next chapter. That's the way it works, And then when she gets the child, that's the third one. That's going to be a little further down the road. I don't know if we've done that one yet, but I just wanted to get this one on. And I apologize if this is going to mess everything up. But the order of things, right? So I hope this helped you out. Chat with you soon.